Alright, so I wanted to make this video for a while, but because of copyright and everything, it's a bit difficult. So I've got to try and make this educational and follow the guidelines for fair use. So this is what it says for fair use. It says here that for an exception, you can use it for criticism or review, or research and study. Okay? And then what does YouTube say? YouTube says in the UK you can use it for criticism and review. So got to keep it within those guidelines. Alright, so basically the video I want to teach you, like, the most important part of dance that I think is kind of overlooked. So the most important thing is not actually popping like your hits. It's all the movements in between every single stop, every single pop. It's those movements in between that kind of fill out that gap, that space. I'm going to have to show you some examples so you know what I mean. So I've already got these videos here that I've started them at the point where I want to like show you, because obviously I can't play the whole video for copyright reasons. So basically I'll start with this one. In between every little stop, you can see the movement that's kind of like a flow. It's how he flows from one move to the next. So I'll go back just a second. In between all of that, you can see he's like, boom, then he moves down his body, and then he like stops again. Stops. So basically, it looks like speed changes. If you're looking at it, it's almost like a type of speed change. So I'll go back again a little bit. That one sequence there, I'll show you again. See how he goes, boom, boom, stop. And then he's at this point with his hand now, and then he'll send it down his body. Like that. That's just one example of how you can use that. I don't know what the word to call it. I think some people call it riding the beat, or in the pocket, or flow, or that little space in between the notes, or the stops, or the pops. That's what you want to be the most important. Don't just focus on the pops the whole time. Think of like how you can boom, like move in between this space of time. Alright, so the next video is a video of Slim Boogie, who actually, he's pretty good at this. He does this a lot. It's probably the best example I can show you. See how he's like taking his time, and then just focus on these little movements in between each stop. It's like a speed change. I think a speed change is the best, probably the best way to use that that flow. Or besides waving anyway, I think waving's like boom, boom, waving as a style is basically that whole principle just in one style. So I think waving is the perfect example to show you. But if you want to not do waving and still use that, like boogly rolls, if you were doing rolls with your chest, or like the old man, these kind of like ways of sitting in the pocket and riding the beat. So I'll go back to this video. There, see, well, the speed change. But how does he actually move his body? See, now he's using knee rolls a lot. That little thing was cool. Just that little simple thing he does with his foot. I went too far anyway, but it doesn't matter. So you know it's kind of doing slow motion. Slow motion is kind of, there's another way you can do it. Waving, goes from slow motion to waving. Then he'll use the speed change again. But I can't show you the whole video, so I'd recommend just looking up these videos on your own and watching them in your own time. So another example is Dokin from Korea. I've already skipped to the part where I think he does it pretty well. So let's have a look. Bam, already, instantly. There, it starts kind of like, he has his hand up, then he rolls it from shoulder to shoulder down as a way of filling out that space of time. Waving up the body, using a lot of those isolations and fixed point. There, that's a good one. It's pretty subtle, or subtle. He'll come down, it's just a simple little like that. Okay, I went too far, but I'll go back to it. Okay, it was right here. Here. There, that little. All of this is all moving in between stops, pops, and the pocket of the music. Especially with his waves. But he does that super clean. Yeah, even that right there, where he's kind of drops his chest with the isolation. Yeah, so that's another example of how you can do it, is if you like pop here, your beat starts here and then the beat finishes here. How are you going to go from boom, stop. It's almost like a robot. If you're like, boom, stop, boom, stop, turning, stop. Because robot as well is like the same principle as the waves. You have a starting point and ending point, and you're flowing through the start and the finish. So you think about like robot, start, moving, stop, start, move, stop. Okay, and then the same with wave, like boom, stop, stop. So you can stop at each point, or you can stop at your shoulder, come back, boom. And that's the most important thing, is not the actual pop itself, it's how you move, the movement in between, which is really underrated, and I think it gets overlooked a lot. But in this video here, I think Mr. Wiggles calls it delays, or delays is kind of a little bit different, but same kind of principle of using that speed change. So watch like when he pops, and then watch how he moves in between. So I mean, it's pretty obvious when he's gonna pop. So I'll show you again, just like that. Let's go back again. Have a look. And pop, 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 delay, pop, delay, pop, delay, pop. So he's using his delays in between each pop, and that's basically the main idea. I mean, there's not much more to it besides just figuring out how you can actually move, like besides robot, waving, boogaloo. I mean, how you want to move, it's up to you. So yeah, just kind of like, you can go watch any single popping video right now, and you'll see all the best poppers, they all do it, but no one really is talking about this particular thing, like moving in between. And I think it's just hella important if you want to get better at what you're doing. Then I mean, you got to try and add that into your dance too. Like, something I never knew. It was like, took me 8 years just to realize they're actually doing that, because my eyes are too focused on the actual tricks and stuff they're doing. But then you don't look at like, it's the delays in between. So even just, it's these movements where that join everything together. It's almost like connecting the continuous motion, or the connecting that joins everything. I know even in turfing, the tutters will call it connecting, because I mean, if you're like tracing, like even if you're, okay, so you're using your trace to connect all these points together, but at the same time, it's a continuous flow, continuous motion, and you're still kind of sitting in that pocket. And I'd say if you want to look at any one dance style, or dance styles that do it best, then look at like hip hop, look at house. You can look at guys like Nieko, or Nieko, however you pronounce his name. Sorry if I screwed that up. But Meech, you got Meech, Paradox, those kind of guys, from Elite Force. I think Slim Boogie, watch a lot of Slim Boogie, watch a lot of Hosen, even Dokin, those guys I showed you, because they're probably the main poppers that I can think that do it. And I think even MT Pop, he's pretty good at it. He's got his own little funky way of doing it where he's kind of like grooving in between, and I think that comes from his hip hop background, where he's kind of like trying to fuse his hip hop with his popping, and it's just funky. It's just dope, and I think what makes it look like that is because he's using these little delays in between his moves, especially when he's in like these positions, and then he's using like these. I don't know how you do it. It's like the, what do you call it? Like that kind of stuff he does. I don't know the name for it, but he's got his own little style going on. So, yeah, just watch any popper and any dancer. They all kind of do it. House, hip hop, study those styles, and then try and add your pop with the hip hop if you can. But obviously, you still have your foundation, still have your basics, and then just figure out how you can use this as a tool. Not like, don't make your whole dance based around that, because you can still dance however you want, but it'll just be like a tool to kind of make your style better. And that's about it anyway, because I can't play many more videos because of copyright and everything, and I just wanted to kind of teach you something if you didn't already know that. So yeah, play around with it, and peace out.